Welcome. This is Melinda Barlow, CZT, Certified Zen Tangle Teacher, and I'm outside again filming. The light is just so much better than in my studio. I need to do some repairing in my studio on my lighting. So I'm outside so you could hear my chickens and my rooster again, and maybe a little traffic, and I haven't warned my husband that I'm outside so he could come slamming through the door any moment, coming out to the backyard. Today's lesson is Pais, and it is a fun tangle by Mikee Huber. I love Pais. I love the flow of it. This is where you see Pais with some variation in it. I like to add Pais when I do a combination of tangles. Here's Pais. I used Pais on this one earlier that you probably saw in one of my other videos. But here is Pais simplified. So we're going to do Pais today. Let's just set those aside and adjust the camera a little bit. We're going to start with our dots and our corners. This just helps me have some place to draw. I don't have to think about where I'm going to start on that tangle. And Rick and Maria had a great idea when they did the dots and borders and then the string. It just really helps you free your mind a little, so that's why we do those. And I'm going to start Pais down in a corner. I'm going to do one that's similar to this one right here that you see. So we can see Pais. And Pais is, I would say, like a paisley shape. It's got that kind of teardrop shape. And then we echo the inside. And I come down and I don't lift my pen. I like to just continue. I try to keep my lines equal, as being, once I start up, I kind of see a distance, and so they are somewhat equal. And that's the last one I'm going to do. I particularly am fond of coloring in this section of Pais. I've said many times I like the drama that happens when we have dark and not all light, so coloring this in helps with that. Now, Pais is a great one. If you have like shaky hands, don't you love that one? Sometimes that happens. This time I'm just going to echo that shape. So for somebody with a shaky, when they draw, they have a little shakiness with them, Pais is a good one because it's very forgiving and you can just make it. So now I have one, and I'm going to color in my centerpiece, that very center of Pais. Pais can be done in just any little corner of a piece of tile you've got. Now, since this one was a little wobbly, I'm going to go ahead and fill in down. I'm going to make that a little bit so that it looks like that center comes all the way up. That will help with anything that maybe I have a mistake in something, so I'll fill it in. And then we're just going to do another Pais. They don't have to be perfect. and then do our echoes. fill it in. Now, I like to give Pais some extra. This is Pais as far as it is considered a tangle. But what do we do to enhance this? Because that's sort of boring. And if you look at this one, I've really given it some life. I've added things to it. So let's just show you what I've done. I've just picked one of my stripes, and I'm going to do little curved lines. They're not straight. They've got a little curve in them. That gives movement to your tangle. So you can do that. You could add a row of circles that touch each other and touch the line. So these circles go up and they touch both lines and they touch each other. I like to kind of start, when I'm doing circles that touch, I like to put my pen right on either the line or the circle that's preceding it. And there we have, now we can come in and we can color in every other one of these. Sometimes I will do that, where I color in, give that a little bit more drama or interest. So let's see, what could we do to this one that was a little shaky? I could do the same thing. I could just pick one of my rows, and I'm just going to do my little round lines. They can be fairly close together, or they could be far apart, depending on what you're doing. There's one. And I could come in and I could do my circles right here next to that center. And you could even color in one of them completely black if you wanted. I could take that very outside one that's really got and I could come in and I could just do a fill in. So it is completely black. And that would enhance that kind of shaky feel that it had. And I like that look. I like when you have these little non-normal things in your tangles. So you could just fill it in. Remember, if you're using a Micron 01 by Sakura, that tip's very small. So you don't want to push hard. You want to have a very light touch with your pen. And I always tell my students in class that when I say that, it's to remind myself so that I don't press hard. Most of my students start out with a apprentice pen by Sakura that Zentangle.com sells, and it has a little different kind of tip, so we don't have to worry about collapsing that tip in when they're first learning how not to press hard. And most of them find out they love that pen. I'll look, see if I've got one in. I'm going to go all the way down with that black drama. See, so you could do that. Now, I really like to add In Pais, I like to add circles in between. And I can do diminishing circles so that they diminish. That means getting smaller. That's a fun way to do it. This one needs, if I'm gonna enhance all of those, I really need to enhance these. And you can take your pencil and just put gray in. So I'm just going to take my pencil and put gray, take my shading stump and blend it so it's a soft, has a soft look to it. This one would be great with little stripes on the outside edge. And then lots of times I like to just put something that might come up. I never just put one by itself. I always put a couple in there. And I could just keep going and going with Pais. You can also do them very small to fill in some of those spaces. So I could do some smaller ones. So it's a great fill-in. I could come back and color those in with colored pencils. This is a great one to use colored pencils on. This is just a fun, moving tangle. You can do so much with it. So I hope you enjoyed the tutorial on how to do Pais. I'm sure it's kind of like short for Paisley. I don't know what Mikee Huber was thinking, but it is a fun and swirly tangle. This is the end of the lesson today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so you don't miss a single lesson. And if you feel inclined to support this channel, it's always greatly appreciated. And thanks for watching.